Mr. President, I know your time is tight, so why did you choose to spend your time here in Kentucky the night before this election cycle?
Matt Bevin is a fantastic guy. He's done a great job as governor. He had to do things that very few people were able to do. You know what he did. He did some very tough moves, and he had no choice, and it made the state stronger. And I want to let people know that he is a fantastic governor. He loves this country. He loves this state. This is a great state. And I guess I'm pretty popular here based on certain things, but I love the people of Kentucky, and we're going to have a big victory tomorrow. I'm here really for Matt Bevin tonight.
Mr. President, when you first took this job, you and Senator McConnell probably didn't know each other very well. Would you say now he's your biggest legislative ally?
Well, he's fantastic, and he's done a great job. And, you know, we have 157 judges, federal judges approved, and 2 Supreme Court judges that are fantastic. And I think we'll have, within about 2 months, we're going to have 182 judges, which is a record. There's never been anything like that. And he and I did that together, and it's a great tribute to Kentucky. He loves his place.
Absolutely. Let me ask you about everything that has gone on. How in the world do you keep the wagon on the road with everything that has been thrown at you and continues to be thrown at you?
Well, I mean, the do-nothing Democrats, and that's what I call them. They just do nothing. They try this impeachment stuff. It's so ridiculous over a perfect conversation that I had with the president of Ukraine. It's so absolutely crazy. And fortunately, we had we had the transcript of the conversation, and they had a whistleblower come out, and I think the whistleblower is very suspect because what he wrote is very wrong. And I released the conversation, and when we released the conversation, he disappeared. Everybody sort of disappeared after I did that. But these people, I'll tell you, it's terrible what they're doing to our country, and they're doing nothing. USMCA has to get approved. All of these things have to get approved, and I call her Crazy Nancy. I mean, this woman is just, all they do is, that's all they focus on. One conversation, which, by the way, it was like a perfect conversation. I was watching last night Mark Levin, who's a great constitutional lawyer. He said, just read this conversation. It was a perfect conversation. So we're winning. Our poll numbers are way up. We've never done better in terms of fundraising, campaign finance, and we're having a lot of fun. And to be in Kentucky is great for me.
I don't understand. I mean, we're being transcribed here. I mean, there's never anything that you do except when you're in the private residence that there's not like a whole bunch of people transcribing, right?
Well, not only that, when I made this call, anytime you speak to a foreign leader, you have many people on the phone. You know that there are many people on the phone.
Sure.
So you make a call, and you know that all of these people, I think the Secretary of State was on, but many, many people, including transcribers and stenographers and everything else, what are you going to say? Now, I'm straight anyway, but when you know all of these people on the phone, that's sort of what you're getting at. Sure. It is so ridiculous, but this is what I have to put up with. I mean, they are really, there's an evil group, and they're so bad for the country. The Democrats, I call them the do-nothing Democrats. Now, they took a vote. We had 194 or 95 Republicans, every single one, and 2 Democrats actually came on our side, which is pretty amazing. So we had a tremendous vote. We have great solidarity. Mitch McConnell's been great from the Senate standpoint. You know, at some point that may get before him. Nobody can believe it based on, I mean, I can see.
Do you think it'll happen?
I think it's hard for them to do it. I really do. And it's made us stronger and more popular. But it's, you know, your same attitude is the attitude that everybody has. I mean, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but it's just, the whole thing is ridiculous. It really is ridiculous. But Mitch has been good. Hard to conceive that it would ever get to the Senate.
So let me ask you this, though, Mr. President. A lot of people, a lot of the pundits and historians would say that a president wants to avoid impeachment at all costs. However, with the way things are going now, in a certain way, would you welcome that because you would be able to present evidence, you would be able to call witnesses and such, and let the American people decide?
Well, I think that's true, and they say that from a political standpoint. It's probably a good thing. For the election, it's probably a good thing. But, you know, to be honest with you, to me, it's a dirty word. It's a terrible word. It's a dirty word. I came in, I won one of the greatest elections of all time. Look at what happened with Kentucky, the kind of margins we won with. But that was all over the country. We won so many states. Nobody thought it would be, states that hadn't been won by a Republican in many years, like Wisconsin and Michigan and others. And, we had a great win. The concept of impeachment is such a terrible thing. I think it's terrible. And probably it is good politically because I see the poll numbers, how good they are. See, I see the fundraising, how good it is, and all of the things, but it's not a good thing for our country, I can tell you that.
I want to get back to the call for just a second because a lot of people thought that you were trying to curry favor against a, quote, political ally.
Yeah.
Were you not, in fact, asking the president to cooperate with Secretary Barr's investigation?
Yeah, in fact, if you look at it, it said, I'd like you to speak to the Attorney General of the United States. I mean, that's something that's a positive thing. And, you know, Ukraine is known as a very, very corrupt place, and they know that. He got the new president, who I don't even know. I mean,
Right.
I speak to him. I don't even know him. But the new president won on the basis that he was going to fight corruption. And that's one. And the other thing is, why aren't Germany and why aren't all these other countries, France, UK, why aren't they putting up money? And I say that, why aren't they putting up money? I want them to put up money too. So that was part of it also. It is so bad what they do because it's so bad for our country.
Final question. I never thought I'd compare a president to Elvis, but it seems like you get out in front of these crowds and you, like Elvis, are energized, and it's good for you to get out of that bubble in D.C.
Well, I love it. I love the people. I love, I mean, certain states where we have leads that are, this is one of them, where we have leads individually, me. And that's why I'd love to see Matt. In a way, Matt, I look at Matt also as a referendum against Nancy Pelosi and this crooked politician named Schiff. He's a crooked guy. He's a guy that got up and made up my conversation.
Parody is what he said.
Oh, he said parody after they caught him.
In a congressional hearing.
Well, he never thought that I was going to release the tape because normally you don't do that. You know, I don't want to release a conversation with a foreign leader because you just don't do that.
Right.
We actually got approval to do it, and they said, why? It was a good conversation. I said, you're right. But he never thought we'd do that. But here's a guy that made up a conversation totally. I mean, not even like, didn't use one word that I said. He just totally made it up, and it sounded terrible. And so he's a crooked politician, and it's a shame. So I look at Matt Bevin, as sort of a referendum in favor of what we're doing. Because, you know, you talk about the swamp, Nancy Pelosi, all these people, it's a terrible thing, Schumer. And in the meantime, they get nothing done. We're getting things done. Sometimes I'm doing executive orders. We're getting things done. But they get so little done. All they do is focus on this kind of thing. And they're trying to win an election in 2020, and I think it's hurting them.
Mr. President, thanks for your time. Thanks for your service. Much continued health to you and your family.
Great honor.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate it.
Pleasure. Thank you.